The spaceport of Elari Prime shimmered in hues of rose gold, its crystalline towers refracting the planet's twin suns. Rion stepped off the transport shuttle with the rest of the Terran diplomatic team, inhaling the sweet, sharp scent of ozone and flower-laced air. Elari Prime was known for its breathtaking beauty, its inhabitants' elegance, and its notoriously complex social rituals. Rion, a 29-year-old xenolinguist, had been sent to assist negotiations over a rare plasma-infused mineral, Australis, which only Elari Prime produced. He had prepared extensively. Heavy checkmark, he memorized basic Elari greeting gestures. Heavy checkmark, he practiced avoiding accidental contact. Heavy checkmark, he reviewed every law that had been translated into galactic standard. But the Elari, much like their shimmering architecture, kept secrets. Their most ancient laws, those tied to fate and binding, were never shared with outsiders. And today, that was going to matter more than Rion could ever imagine. The Elari, a people of grace and light. The Elari were humanoid, but distinctly otherworldly. Their skin held soft iridescence that brightened with emotion. Their eyes were gem-like, faceted like living crystals. Delicate antenna-like filaments rose from their temples, swaying gently with mood shifts. The delegation was greeted inside the Hall of Luminescence, where crystalline walls echoed faint chimes with every footstep. That was where Rion first saw her. She stood near a floating pillar of spinning lights, laughing softly with other young Elari. Her skin glimmered like molten gold, and her eyes were a vibrant amber that seemed to glow from within. Her hair, if it could be called that, floated around her like strands of illuminated silk. She noticed him looking, and she smiled. Rion's heart stuttered. He quickly turned away, reminding himself that Elari expressions didn't always match human interpretations. A smile could mean friendliness, or challenge, or mild annoyance. He kept his distance. But fate, unknowingly, did not. The moment everything changed. Later, during the welcoming ceremony, Rion stood near one of the hovering crystal tables reviewing his translation device. That's when he heard soft footsteps and a playful hum behind him. "Terran," a light, teasing voice said. "You are quite serious, aren't you?" He turned, and there she was, the golden Elari woman from earlier. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. I was concentrating," Rion stammered. "These devices need recalibrating around the harmonic frequencies of this hall." She leaned closer, studying him with amused intensity. "I know. I was watching you." He swallowed.
"Right.
"Of course." She laughed, a chiming, crystalline sound. "Do all humans look like they're solving the universe when they're just doing work?" "Only the good ones," he replied before he could stop himself. She smiled wider. "What is your name, serious Terran?" "Rion Cade." "And I am Sehlara," she said, placing a hand over her heart in the typical Elari introduction gesture. Rion mimicked the gesture, carefully, so as not to accidentally offend. Sehlara looked delighted. "You learn quickly." "I try. Maybe I can teach you more." She stepped closer, close enough that Rion thought he should step back to maintain the respectful distance he'd practiced. But her expression was so open, so mischievous, that he hesitated. A mistake. Because she reached out, and with one swift, playful flick of her fingers, she tapped his shoulder. Just a light touch. A joke. A tease. Her laugh danced into the air, and then froze in her throat. Her eyes widened. Her skin flared bright gold. Her antennae snapped upright. The air around them seemed to vibrate. Rion blinked. Are you okay?" Sehlara stumbled back a step, staring at him in shock and disbelief. Her voice came out as a horrified whisper. No. I didn't mean, Rion, I didn't. The hall fell silent as every nearby Elari whipped their heads toward them. Colors rippled violently across their skins. Gasps echoed. An elder rushed forward, eyes glowing with somber understanding. Child, he murmured to Sehlara, what have you done? Her breathing quickened. I touched him as a jest. I didn't mean to initiate. The elder lifted a trembling hand. It is done. He turned to Rion, his voice heavy with the weight of ancient tradition. Terran Rion Cade, you have been bound. Rion stared blankly. Bound? Bound to what? The elder gestured solemnly to Sehlara. To her. Sehlara's knees buckled. Rion felt the world tilt. And then the elder spoke the words that would change both of their lives. Under the law of luminant touch, she is now bound to you forever. The law of luminant touch. They moved quickly to a private chamber. Rion sat at a crystalline table, trying to steady himself. Sehlara sat far from him, head in her hands, glowing erratically with distress. The elder stood before them, explaining in slow, deliberate tones. The law of luminant touch is older than our star maps. When an Elari touches another's bare skin with intention, playful or otherwise, if their energies resonate, a soul binding occurs. Rion rubbed his face. She barely touched me. Touch is not measured in pressure, the elder said. It is measured in will. Even a playful intention carries power. Sehlara looked up, anguish in her glowing eyes. I didn't mean to initiate a bond. I thought it would be funny. Humans don't react to touch the way we do. I wasn't thinking. The elder continued, ignoring her guilt. The bond is permanent unless dissolved before the next dual sunrise. That is 29 hours from now. Rion perked up. So, we can end it? Only if both of you speak the dissolution oath at the same moment. Rion glanced at Sehlara. She looked devastated. He assumed she would want out, but her eyes flicked toward him with a haunting mixture of fear and something else. Private conversation. After the elder left, Rion approached her cautiously. Sehlara, I'm not angry. It was an accident. We can undo this. She shook her head, glowing dimly. You don't understand. A bond isn't just symbolic to my people. It ties destinies together. Breaking it brings shame. He knelt beside her. I don't want to ruin your life. You won't. Her voice trembled. But if we dissolve the bond, my family will believe I played with fate carelessly. My judgment will be questioned. And bonded energy leaves residue. I'll be marked as someone who failed a cosmic pairing. Failed, Rion whispered. Yes. She swallowed. No one would pursue me again. Rion sat beside her silently. Finally, he said, What do you want? She looked at him, really looked at him for the first time since the touch. I don't know, she breathed. I didn't intend this. But Elari believe bonds only form when the universe approves. If it bound us, maybe it saw something we don't yet. He felt a flutter of something he didn't dare name. Curiosity? Connection? Destiny? He didn't know. Exploring the bond. Over the next hours, Sehlara was tasked with guiding Rion in bond familiarization, an ancient ritual meant to help new pairs understand the energetic resonance, linking them. They walked through the glowing fields of Illum, where flowers hummed softly. Rion found himself drawn to her voice, her gestures, her shimmering presence. At one point, she laughed, tentatively, and the air brightened around them. He felt warmth pulse through his chest. Did you feel that too? She whispered. Yes. He didn't know how to explain it. Sehlara touched a flower. It lit up instantly. When two share a bond, she said, their energies affect the world around them. If we stay bound, we'll feel echoes of each other's emotions, even thoughts at times. Is that why I feel calmer when you're near? Rion asked. Her glow brightened. You do. He nodded. And I feel steady around you, she admitted. They were quiet for a long moment. Finally, Rion said softly, maybe the universe wasn't joking. Sehlara's breath caught. Nightfall and choice. As the twin suns dipped below the horizon, they sat on a crystal ledge overlooking the glowing city. Tomorrow, Sehlara whispered, we choose to stay bonded or not. Rion looked at her, studying the way her light pulsed softly. Before today, I didn't know you, he said. But now, I know you're kind, intelligent, funny, and reckless in the best way. She laughed weakly. And you, he continued, you're the first person who's ever made me wonder if destiny might be real. Her eyes glowed brighter. Rion, but this is your life, your culture. I don't want to trap you. You aren't trapping me. She took his hand gently. You're offering me a choice. One no Elari has ever had before with an outsider. And what choice do you want? She leaned her forehead against his. I want to see what the universe saw in us. His heart hammered. And for the first time since the accidental touch, he didn't feel fear. He felt possibility. And the bonding decision. At dawn, the elders gathered in the circle of harmonics, where the air thrummed with ancient resonance. Rion Cade. Sehlara of House Lumian, the elder intoned. Speak your choice. Dissolve, or accept eternity's binding. Sehlara looked at Rion, breath trembling. I choose to remain bound, she said, voice steady. Rion exhaled slowly. Then he smiled. I choose the bond. Immediately, a burst of radiant light enveloped them. Crystalline patterns spun around their hands as they touched, binding their energies in shimmering spirals. The bond solidified, permanent, unbreakable, destined. The elders bowed. Sehlara stepped closer, glowing warmly. We walk one path now. Rion squeezed her hand gently. Then let's walk it together. Aftermath, a new future. Over the next weeks, word spread across Elari Prime. A Terran and an Elari had bonded, by accident, but accepted by choice. Diplomatic relations strengthened. Ancient laws were revisited. And Sehlara's family, instead of showing shame, embraced Rion with pride. He learned Elari customs. She learned Terran humor. They explored each other's worlds, not as strangers randomly bound, but as partners who had chosen the bond fate gave them. One night on a balcony of shimmering crystal, Sehlara whispered, I'm glad I touched you. Rion laughed softly, pulling her close. Best accidental joke of my life. She smiled, glowing brighter. And as the twin moons of Elari Prime rose behind them, Rion felt certain. This was no mistake. This was destiny. Their destinies weren't bound by accident. They were revealed by it.